I bring up football because the NFL is wilding, bro. I don't know if you saw this guy. I don't really follow, so I've heard about this days after, so I'm a little late.
Is this the AB thing?
Not the AB thing. That was like yesterday. That happened,
Okay.
2 days ago.
Okay.
This was a couple last Sunday or something, maybe the week before Thursday night. I don't know. A guy in the Dolphins.
Oh.
I forget his name. Tua something. He was concussed last week or something, or earlier in this game. He got concussed and somehow got back into the game, or into this week's game.
Did you see him stumble last week too?
Yes, and people were saying like his brain didn't look right last week, and they allowed him to play this week, and he got slammed on the ground and literally like started like looking like he's casting spells with his hands while he's knocked out because he's not there.
Yeah.
And dude, when I saw it, and
that
like
was
obviously
it was scary.
Yeah, dude, seriously, like it's
that was really
so fucked up. And
he had neck injuries too, right?
I don't even know if he's okay.
Yeah,
like I don't know if he to right now, like I don't know, like to this day I don't know if he's okay. And we have an article if you want to actually pull that up to kind of get some more insight onto it, because I thought it was fucking crazy. But like, to me, dude, like that has to go through so many like checks to happen, and people are just like passing this guy through. This young player, I was told by somebody he's pretty young.
Yeah, he's
okay.
Third year.
Yeah,
right?
so here we have it. Who is to blame? They can see that, right? Okay, yeah, he's about to pull it up, so they can see that. So who's to blame for the NFL's Tua Tagovailoa? Man, I'm sorry with these names. Disaster. It's not just concussion protocols. You want to scroll down just a little bit, and we'll kind of read this as we go. Yeah, you'll come all the way to our side, and then you'll be able to scroll. Yeah, and just click that. Yeah, there you go. The NFL's scandal of the moment surrounds how team and league authorities handled a series of hits to the head of a Miami Dolphins quarterback. In the immediate term, the story has been about the league's protocols. Did he suffer a concussion against the Bills the week before? If he did, why didn't the league or the Dolphins catch it? Was it a breakdown on policy or execution? Okay, so they're wondering if it was either the rules that are in place, or if the rules aren't good enough, or if people skipped the rules. Yeah. So you can scroll down a little bit. We don't want to take this verbatim. So here's the sequence that began a week ago. He got pushed by a linebacker in the second quarter of the game against the Bills, and it looks like his head whipped against the ground, and when he stood up, he was visibly unstable, and he wobbled for a split second, then fell while trying to jog up the field. So then, if you want to just click play on that video, it should show it. So apparently, I think this is right after the hit. He tries to jog. Oh, it doesn't
even show up.
You can restart it. No, I already watched part of it. That's why. Yeah. So this is him after the play, and he tries to kind of jog off, and he's not okay.
No.
And that's the week before.
Yeah.
Like,
so
that's brain function, dude.
One, he's trying to shake his head off when he's first moving, and then he doesn't stop shaking his head, and then it almost looks like he hits like a pothole. He just sinks.
But it's just, so I guess, he played the rest of that game, it looks like. So when the second half of that game took place, he was back on the field. And an unaffiliated neurotrauma consult employed by the league cleared him to keep playing. Okay, unaffiliated. How to? So just that's like some random dude just being like, "Nah, this guy good. He good. I did the lights. He's fine." And so this is this week. So I think this is what just happened to him right here. And this was the end of it. So his head, it doesn't look like that bad of a hit, but when you see what happened to his head, and he's unable to move. Like he doesn't know where he is. And it's kind of awkward. I listened to some of the broadcaster. I don't know if that did it have audio for you? Yeah. On that, was it super loud, or could you hear us still? Okay, good. Yeah, the broadcasters even were like, "Oh shit!" Like they thought it was just like, "Oh, a sack by so," and then they saw his fucking hands go up like that, and they're like, "Oh, okay, he's fucked up."
Yeah.
And it just, you know what? I think I guess we'll get into this. Had the medical officials diagnosed him with a concussion the week before, he probably would have been ruled out of the game this week under the league's concussion protocol. but they didn't. And the NFL's Player Association is, I guess, investigating the series of events. What is there to like investigate? It's like, yo, did you wrongfully clear him or did you not?
And it says there that the coach said that they would have done anything differently. He said absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
He said.
Well, you can close that so it's not fucking up everything. But that's terrible. Who is this article from? This is from I just want to give it the credit where the credit is due to the Slate. Appreciate you, Slate, for the article there. But dude, the thing that is so sad about it is like it's twofold. It's kind of layered, I guess. First off, this dude's career is over. Not maybe over, but it's not going to be the same. Potentially.
His brain's not going to be the same.
And that's the worst part is that this guy's fucking his life might not be all right. You know, and that's what like, and the fact that like you guys would risk. I don't follow, and I brought that up earlier because of my ignorance on this. I don't want to sound like I'm speaking out of pocket, but I had people tell me about the situation who follow the league very closely, and they said he's a young, promising guy, not like a crazy good guy, but he's good and he's young, and they were excited about him, and it just makes me so sad. And you see it with these fucking trash organizations like the Dolphins, and I'm sure the Dolphins make a bunch of money because they're in Miami, but it's like they don't win. They never win. Shit. They have the dopest fucking jerseys. I love the colorway, but they don't win, right? And what do these terrible teams do? They always fucking opt the shortcut, and they put these kids' lives on the line. Like, look at RG3.
It's modern day slavery, man. It's a contract, and then they sign their life away.
Well, and then, you know what? And they don't give them their fucking. A lot of times, from what I've heard.
So the money that's promised them isn't the money that they receive at the same time too. You gotta think of taxes too.
Yes, that's true, and you got to pay agents. You have to pay a lot of people, trainers, all these things, dietitians, all these people.
I think it was Shaq. He said $1 million, you only get like 200,000 or 100,000.
Well, yeah, because $1 million, I mean, half of that's going right off the top to taxes.
If you think about that, $10 million, what you get $1 million.
Yeah, well, you lose in half.
But you get what I'm saying. So like realistically, you make 30 million, you're only getting. I only say only, but like 15.
It's still a lot of money, and there are ways that players can be, you know, smart or not smart about it. But the thing is that's fucked up is a lot of time when shit like this happens. From what I've heard from actual people who've played in the NFL, is that the NFL's, I guess, notoriously underwhelming at best when it comes to following through on the benefits that they're supposed to provide these players for after their careers and in retirement and stuff like that, especially when it becomes an injury thing. They don't want to cover medical bills. They don't want to cover especially head-related stuff. And I think part of that is because then they're admitting
their fault
that it's like a dangerous sport. But it's like everybody knows it's a dangerous sport. It's this weird thing.
I'm pretty sure they've already paid out. They did like a big...
They paid out. What's that one guy who fucking
he
killed himself because he was like he had CTE and he went crazy.
There was like a big buyers or big players buyout that they got like a bunch, like like hundreds of millions of dollars
to not say shit about.
Pretty much to like shut up.
It's just so wild to me, man. Especially with what these guys go through. But I guess what I was getting to with Robert Griffin III, if people remember him, RG3, his rookie season was fucking crazy. He was amazing. He played for they were the Redskins at the time, Washington Redskins. I think they're the Washington football team now or something. They think they changed
Commanders.
Commanders? Yeah, so they used to be, anyway, he played for them. And this is a terrible organization. They're not very good. No. They don't win a lot. But he comes, and they're like, they didn't have a great season, but they were 9-7. They made the playoffs, and they have this young, electric quarterback who's fucking...
he won Rookie of the Year, too.
I think he did. And he was fucking crazy, bro. He was fast as fuck. He was Cam Newton if Cam Newton was fucking fast, bro. Like, he's fast as fuck. And he basically a couple weeks before or maybe the week before their playoff game, which was a wild card playoff game. Again, it wasn't a crazy good season. They were just good enough to barely make the playoffs. And this is a team that doesn't usually win. So they're all excited. But the week before, I believe, or 2 weeks before, I could be misspeaking, he had torn his ACL. Like, it was like in pieces. ACL, LCL, something in his fucking knee was fucked up. And he, being a competitor and young, wanted to play in this playoff game. He helped get them there. He wants to play. Medical staff, coaching staff, they let him do it. And what happens? To lose a playoff game, a game that they were not going to, even if they would have won it, they weren't winning the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
This guy's going to be great. He's already doing phenomenal his rookie season. He's going to be great for the next 5, to 8, maybe 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
He is a legacy quarterback, could be, right, if he doesn't get hurt. And you're going to risk all that because you guys are just now good enough, and you want to get those TV rights for one more week. That's so weak. And they did. And what happens? He gets fucking sacked. I forget what it was. I think it was in his own red zone. He gets sacked, fucking, like, shreds his fucking knee.
Yep, tears it even more.
Even more. Like, and couldn't come back and play. Like, he came
It was
back.
like a whole year.
Yeah, he came back, and he was never that good. I think he's a broadcaster now.
Yep.
Really, and he's a cool guy. He seems like a really cool guy. But I think that that's such a misstep on the organization's fault, and I think there's a reason that bad teams stay bad when it's who's making those fucking calls, bro.
It's almost like they're trying to capitalize on this year.
They want this moment right now. We want to make a little bit more. If we can win this game, we sell this many more jerseys, this many more tickets, this many more, all this dumb shit. It's like, y'all are so stupid. This guy's gonna be.
That's why the Patriots are so good, because they build from within and they grow them.
Well, and it just, the thing is, bro, it's so nearsighted. It's like, if you want to be you want to make actual money, and obviously all these organizations are making money. I'm not. Who am I? Broke as fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, if your goal is to make as much money as possible, I know you think that, I need to make as much money as possible right now. Dude, you will make infinitely more money if this doesn't happen to your players, and if they're healthy and they can continue playing.
At the same time, then it's also like, if they get hurt, then they don't have to pay them the 20.
Then they don't have to get the whole contract. Yeah. And
it's
then
almost like, let's use them up for what they're good for, and then
get them the fuck out of here.
We'll get the next quarterback. We'll get the next quarterback.
Yeah.
When we find our Joe Namath, then that's when we baby him. Isn't that kind of fucked up?
I think it is. Yeah.
I think it's kind of what's happening.
I agree. Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching there, guy. Click right over here if you want to see that episode in its entirety, or you can click over here and subscribe to the channel. See all the other fun shit we do here. It's really up to you, guy.